Okay, yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Torrentz here, coming to you today with another video. So in this video today, I am going to be discussing my thoughts on Legion so far. And I'm not going to be talking about boomkins and balance as a spec. I'm going to be talking about the game sort of as a whole right now. And I made a separate video already talking about boomkins more specifically, so you can find that linked in the description down below. So this is just going to be my experiences with the expansion so far, and bear in mind these are obviously just my thoughts and opinions, and it's totally okay to disagree with me. Feel free to let me know what you think about expansion so far in the comment section down below, and while you're there, guys, you can follow me on all my social medias, which are linked in the description. So I guess the logical place to start is leveling, and I thought the leveling experience was actually great. Now I usually hate questing, and don't get me wrong, it's not like I really enjoyed it every single moment of it or anything like that, but I didn't really find it as grueling as I did in other expansions, if that makes sense. I used Wowhead's leveling guide for each zone specifically, and it made me finish right on schedule for each one of those zones. And each one wraps up with giving you this huge quest, which gives you a boatload of XP. It takes you to the dungeon associated with the zone you've just finished. So that was great and everything, and then I hit 110, same as everyone else eventually will, and then all I found myself doing is PvE to try and stay up with everyone else. So from what I understand, I could have chosen to just farm PvP from the get-go, but it doesn't give anywhere near as much gear or artifact power as doing PvE does. Both of those things are obviously very, very important, and I'm not really the biggest fan of hitting 110, yay, I'm max level now, and now I'm being forced to do a boatload of PvE content, which isn't the game that I want to play. With that said, I haven't hated every single moment of it. Yeah, it's kind of cool new content. Yeah, it's PvE and I do PvPs, but I can still appreciate that some of it is kind of cool and quirky content, I guess. But I'm not really the biggest fan of doing PvE, so I'm not really the biggest fan of that being forced down my throat at max level. The rewards are the reasons we're all doing it for, obviously, and that is to get artifact power and gear, which are obviously two things that you do need. PvE is by far the fastest way to gain gear and artifact power, so you can gain some pretty large chunks of artifact power through doing obviously your order hall campaign and the missions from your order hall as well, but I think we all know that Suramar is by far the fastest way to gain artifact power. Everyone is trying to race their way to a full artifact tree as fast as possible, and you also get huge chunks of artifact power through doing world quests. That brings me on to gearing, and once again, I'm not really a fan of the most effective way to gear your character for PvP is through doing PvE content. Because I'm sure you guys know that now your stats and stuff are increased based on your base template, which is increased by your item level. So everyone starts off with an 800 item level baseline template, so if you're below 800 item level you get scaled up. Doing PvE content while leveling is kind of a different matter, because obviously it's how you level in the game, but I feel that once we hit 110 I should definitely have a choice in the matter. Having to grind out to get to 810 item level to then get 810 item level and have to go farm some more dungeons in heroics and mythics is really what I want to be spending my time doing, isn't it? Not to mention having to grind out reputation in Suramar so that you can get a piece of your class order hall set, and then also having to grind out world quests in order to get gear. Every time I just said grind out then was to do with PvE content, which, if you couldn't tell, I'm not the biggest fan of. So all of that sounded really, really negative and sort of unexpected, but to be honest, I'm not surprised. Blizzard does this year after year where they make PvP players do PvE content, but I don't really remember it ever being this essential to being successful in PvP. Sure, things like garrisons and stuff like that were kind of forced down our throats a little bit in Warlords of Draenor, but did they affect how we perform inside of PvP in arenas or battlegrounds or rated battlegrounds? Legion so far has kind of been Blizzard pointing the finger at PvP players and been you need to do PvE content, otherwise you're going to be worse than everyone else and further behind everyone else who's done that PvP content and wants to play PvP. And that's just kind of shitty. So that's kind of talked about the whole PvE side of the game. It's what I can really think of being the key points to kind of raise from my point of view. So I guess we should talk about PvP, right? But to be honest, I don't have a lot of time inside PvP because I've been doing all this PvE content. I'm only on a talent level 10 or something like that. So I'll be making a part 2 for this video in the same format and stuff like that, except I'll be talking about PvP. I do have a lot of experience with Legion PvP because I've been playing the beta for months, and although I do already have some quite strong opinions about the current state of PvP in Legion, I'd rather take some more time to get a little bit more experience to kind of validate my current thoughts, possibly form some new opinions, or develop the points I already have a little bit further along. So that video will be coming out in the near future, but that is going to cover it for today's video, guys. So this is kind of like the PvE side of things, I guess. So I went over everything which came to my mind so far, what I've been doing in Legion, what comes to mind as key points to talk about, but that's just me, okay? Let me know what you guys think. I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments down below. Like I said, while you're down there, hit me up on all my social medias, drop a like rating down below, and get subscribed to the channel. You don't want to miss any of the content I have coming out, all things Boomkin, right here on Torrentz WoW. But for now, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.